Hello, everybody. Stephanie Dingbaum here.
Hi.
And
Hi, it's Ashley.
yeah, so we've called ourselves, we're podcast besties
Yes,
now.
absolutely.
Ashley's the host of Big Crystal Energy podcast. I'm the host of Next Level You podcast.
And if you are longtime listeners, you may have heard each of us on each other's podcasts in the past. So here we are. We're at Powerhouse Women Conference, and we just got done with a very long day. We started off at 8 a.m. this morning. Well, first we had last night the pajamas and prosecco, and then this morning we started off at 8 a.m. We went all of our sessions until 6 p.m. We had dinner, and now it's like 10 o'clock at night, and we're just getting back to the room. But we wanted to record some takeaways before we went to bed.
Yeah, if you guys are female entrepreneurs yourselves, like we are, you probably know the importance of putting yourself in a room with like-minded people. And if you don't know that, then let me just stress the importance of this real quick, because I felt like this was not heavily stressed on me until I was like a year into my business. But you guys, there is some true golden value to putting yourself in rooms with like-minded people. I'm not talking people that do what you do for a living. I'm talking about specifically people who are going after their dreams, making them happen, bringing their business to life, showing up unapologetically, owning their shit, healing, doing the hard healing work, like all of it, and being a mom or a parent potentially on top of it. It's just so important to be in a room with these people who are doing the hard work to build a successful business. Ultimately, the times that I put myself in these rooms now, this is my second year going to Powerhouse, and it's just been life changing.
So Stephanie, since we've met, I mean, I knew she went last year and she encouraged me to go this year. And so when they first opened up like early registration, I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And honestly, I didn't know that much about it. I had followed the podcast. I mean, I had followed Lindsay, who is the host of the event. I had followed her in the past and listened to her podcasts and stuff, but I never really thought about it too much. And, honestly, it was pretty intimidating for me. I felt like, oh my gosh, networking, this is really something I've never really done, and I'm really outside of my comfort zone. And yeah, it's been a lot, but I can tell you that last night was challenging. But then as the day has gone by, it's just gotten easier and easier. And it's just like by the end of the day, I was just like, yeah, pumped up. It felt so good. And we both met so many people that are not only completely different from us, doing completely different things than us, but they all had value to add to our lives. And that's been just like extremely impactful.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So let's just dive right in. But before we talk about today's event, so just to give you guys an idea, the Powerhouse Women Conference this year is a 3-day event. Ashley and I both signed up for the ultimate experience, which is all 3 days. That means Friday night, pajamas and prosecco. You show up in your pajamas, and it's like kind of like a 90s themed like slumber party. It's really fun, and dance party. And then Saturday is the big event, like all the big speakers, and you show up in like your powerhouse best outfit. And then the new thing this year is Sunday, which is a mastermind type day. So yeah, we're doing all 3 days. Let's just start with Friday night. I'm just
Okay.
real quick, what was your takeaway after pajamas and prosecco last night?
Well, by the end of the night, I was exhausted,
Yeah, it was a
but
lot.
it was a lot because it's just a lot to take in.
It
Not
is.
only is it a lot to take in, just putting yourself out there, but just visually, it's a lot. There's so many things going on.
Live
There's
music,
there's
the
live
DJs.
music, DJ. There's just all kinds of vendors, and you're seeing all these beautiful women
Yeah.
expressing themselves in all their different ways. So for me, initially, it was just like a lot. It was very
Like sensory overload.
sensory overload for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Between everything. Yeah. Definitely a lot of sensory input going on that night. Yeah. I feel like for me, the big takeaway for that night is I feel like after seeing everyone Friday night show up in their signature pajamas or whatever, it's almost like, okay, now I feel like I have permission to show up unapologetically how I want to on Saturday. It's like I got a little peek into everyone's world and who I'm going to be around for the weekend. And now I feel like I got the green light for Saturday to show up as my best powerhouse self. But yes, it is a lot. I will say that if you've never been before, that first night can be a little overwhelming, but almost like in the best way possible.
Yes.
It is just a lot. Like every person that's coming up to you is like, where are you from? What's your name? What do you do? Some people are like, how can I support your business? It's a lot. And then you're trying to extend the same to other people. And, it's ultimately like you're having the same conversation over and over and over again, which it does become exhausting, but like it's just also so great because you are going to leave with a support system that all stemmed from that Friday night and it just built on each other throughout the weekend.
For sure. Yeah, just I think for me, walking in there, expressing myself, even down to just the pajama choice
Yeah.
that I picked, like really expressing my own signature
Tell them who
energy. I was just like energetically channeling Morticia Adams.
you guys, it was a
It
vibe.
was a really cool, wasn't like your traditional pajamas, but it was
It was
like a
on
lingerie.
brand.
Yeah, but it was
on.
black and it was just very fun. And
Yeah.
it was perfect. And it just felt like, honestly, it felt really good. In a long time, I haven't really been able to show up in that sense. I mean, in the regular day-to-day world, I don't really present myself in that way. And it felt really cool, like to just totally embody who I am,
Yeah.
who I feel like I am on the inside. And then walking into today, I felt like I could just carry that energy forward.
Yeah. The funny thing about Ashley's whole like pajama situation is like, you guys, she ended up buying a total of what, 3 different
Oh
pajama
no.
sets?
Yeah.
3.
Uh
Target,
Target, and
Victoria's
then
Secret.
Victoria's Secret and Amazon.
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of an ordeal.
Yeah.
And then I ended up realizing I actually already had what I wore in my closet.
Yeah. And that was like the on brand
Yeah.
pajamas for her. So it was just perfect. Yeah. And nobody else had anything remotely
No.
close to what she had. So it was like perfect. But we saw people who had her original Target pajamas like
Oh
all
yeah.
over the room.
These jammies,
Yeah, tiger.
these tiger jammies, at least 5 to 7 people had them on.
Yeah, so crazy.
I'm so glad that I did not show up in that, because then I was, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, so that's Friday night. You guys kind of get an idea of like how that night looks and feels. So then Saturday is the big day. Everybody shows up and they're like most powerhouse outfit. You guys, the fashion, the shoes, the accessories.
Top notch.
Yeah, it is all next level shit. It is amazing. And
Mhm.
people like you do like you give yourself permission to show up as your most confident next level version of yourself. And I'm telling you, the energy in this room on Saturday is, it's like,
It's a lot,
yeah,
but in the best way. Like it's like
yeah,
it's so positive and welcoming, and it's so beautiful because you will see people there of just all different ages, all
totally,
different backgrounds. I
totally.
mean, it's just a wide range of people. It's not
Yeah.
just all, cute young girls,
No,
in their
no,
20s and early 30s. It's
not
a
even.
wide range. So
Yeah.
everybody's included.
Yeah, you guys, there was a few like 50, 60-year-old entrepreneurs there. I mean, I didn't meet a single person in their 20s. So it really is across the board. Really, it truly is. Okay, so who is your favorite speaker of the day? Besides Lindsay. I mean, obviously Lindsay.
Oh
But like,
yeah,
who is
Lindsay.
your favorite speaker besides Lindsay?
I have to say the
Okay.
two that I felt connected with the most was number one, Lacey Green. She's a coach for Body, formerly Beachbody, and her personality was just bigger than life, like magnetic.
Yes. She has a laugh. Like she has
Oh
like an Eddie Murphy laugh, if you know what I'm talking about. It was so contagious. Every time she would laugh, like the audience would laugh. Oh,
my
so
gosh,
awesome.
was she one of your favorites today?
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys, I snuck into the bathroom near the end of the day and I actually got to meet Lacey. Like, okay, no, these people are not necessarily celebrities, but like they are expanders in your life. So you do kind of tend to hold them at that celebrity status. So I
Mhm.
ran into Lacey in the bathroom and I was like, oh my gosh, you are amazing. Like I literally, and Ashley and I were talking about this, like if she were the keynote, that just would have been amazing. She
Yeah.
was so just her energy, you could feel it when she was talking. Like she could have owned the room, I feel like.
I really loved Anna Marie too. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
she was really good. I mean, I think her Anna what's her last name?
Anna
Greenhouse?
Marie Green.
She's a green too. Anna Marie Green and Lacey Green. There's two greeny gals.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Okay.
Anna Marie, she just has like a really powerful story of just like
She
her
does.
journey and the things that she's into. And I just like, while her journey is very different than my own, I just felt, I don't know, I just like really connected with her story and I thought she was a beautiful speaker. So I would say, aside from Lindsay, who's like
The
the
powerhouse.
power, yeah,
Yeah.
those were my two favorite girlies that spoke today.
So I don't want to spend a ton of time on each speaker, but like I would like to just like gloss over like what were some of the takeaways that we got from each of them real quick. So like Lindsay both started and ended the day, which is different from the past because last year the end of the day was an actual like keynote speaker themselves. And I think it was really iconic that Lindsay was kind of like the final keynote speaker of the day because like if you guys follow Lindsay, and I'll put her Instagram in the show notes, but like she has just gone through such a transformational year in the last year. And if you listen to her podcast, you probably know this already, but she just has truly transformed, almost like had like a rebirth in the last year. So what I loved as she was talking was like I mean, there's so many different takeaways, honestly, but I really like how she talked about like paying attention to those nudges. If you've listened to my podcast, you know, like I'm big on listening to those nudges as well. And like paying attention to those nudges when there's still like an internal nudge, not waiting for it to become a rhino, which is like when God, universe, or source like knocks you in the face with a nudge, right? Like pay attention to those internal knowings that you get, respond to them. Don't wait for it to become a big boulder type thing, you know? And then the other thing that I really liked that she talked about was like really embracing the grief because there is a lot of grief that you go through as you are growing and evolving and becoming the best version of yourself. Grief is such a like heavy term. It's just like such a ball of emotions and we tend to those heavy emotions we tend to ignore and or avoid. And she really was like, just let the grief come through. Like let your body feel it. Let your body sit with it. Because in Lindsay's words, grief is so important to the becoming process. So as you are working on becoming this next level version of yourself, grief has to be a part of that. And that just really resonated with me.
Me too.
Yeah, there's just so much grief from like grief over the old identity of ourselves, grief over the changing of
Oh
relationships.
yeah,
And there's probably so many other examples of grief, but like that just really has resonated with me.
I agree. I would feel those like two specific examples would be very similar and to me. I think the other thing that she chatted about at the end was really the remembering of who we are and thinking back and looking back to even how we were as children
Yeah.
and the things that we enjoyed and the things that we embodied then when we were so young and innocent. We weren't, everything from the outside world hadn't gotten to us yet. I mean, that truly has been a huge part of my own personal journey. So then when she's talking about that, I'm just like, yeah, I feel that so deeply.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really powerful moment. I agree. And I feel like I talk to my coaching clients about that a lot. Like part of cultivating true joy and contentment in this current chapter of your life is really tapping into that inner child and like, what does she love to do? And have you really gotten far away from that version of you? Like, let's reconnect with her, get to know her again. Yeah, that's such powerful healing work. So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about the end when she dove into that. The next speaker was Brittany Noel. So Brittany, you guys, is a licensed therapist. She's also a best-selling author, and then she owns the Heart Talks tour and the Daily Fix. To be honest with you, she like just has such a I don't even know how to explain her energy. Just like such a grounding energy about her, like the way she talks. Like I really wanted to like emulate her energy as she was talking. Like I wanted to match her energy. She's like such a gentle
Oh
soul.
yeah, it's like this angelic. It was almost
Yeah.
just like a radiant. She almost had like to me when I saw her, I just felt like she had like this golden aura
Yeah.
around her and just like
Yeah.
this angelic quality. And we can't really explain it other than just the way that she spoke. It was kind of unlike how I really ever hear anyone speak. And it was really beautiful.
Yeah. It really was. Yeah. She probably like came from an angelic realm before this lifetime.
I would agree.
there were so many takeaways from her. So like I really like I took a ton of notes and I don't know which one really like stands out the most, but what I will say that I liked about her talk was how she dove into the importance of like loving yourself. And as you're learning about like who am I, making sure it's not solely like your identity is not solely coming from what you do, but coming from like how you want to feel and the impact you want to make on this world. Like I'm not Stephanie the therapist or Stephanie the coach or Stephanie the podcaster. I'm Stephanie, I'm a healer. Like how do I want to make people feel? I want them to feel healed from me. So like the identity work and learning to love yourself, that was a big part of what she talked about. And that really resonated with me.
Oh yeah, it was pretty emotional.
Yeah, it really was. She just dove into a lot of deep topics, I feel. Then there was a panel, so there was Kat Norton and Lacey Green that we talked about. Both of these girls, like,
They owned it.
yeah. Yeah, they are. I love Kat Norton's voice. She is like such an energetic being.
So silly, but so vibrant and just it was just really interesting. I think what I liked about her is that she's turned something. She's what
Miss
at
Excel.
Miss Excel. So she's really into taking things within Microsoft and teaching people in a fun way how to use these different programs. And so it's just like, to me, it was really interesting how she's taken something that could potentially be extremely boring and not interesting at all to learn, and how she's created an entire business and turned that kind of teaching into something that's fun and relatable and that people actually get excited to learn about those programs.
Yeah, I feel like that's really sums it up best. One of the quotes that I took from her was like, she said, create a space for yourself where it's safe to show up and be seen. And that really goes back to like why we're even here in the first place at
Hmm.
Powerhouse. But like, I have heard from so many people today, like, I feel like I guess I'm fortunate, like, where I'm from in the Midwest, we have a really great support system of female entrepreneurs in our area. But I've heard from so many other people from parts of the country that I just assume have that great support. But even Ashley has said,
No,
like, you feel you're lacking that in your
we don't
area.
have anything like, I mean, certainly not that I'm aware of or ever seen any sort of groups posted or anything
So, I
like
mean,
that.
what it comes down to is like, can you create that space for yourself? And really, it's like, instead of focusing on the lack that of community that there is, it's like shifting that mindset into
Mhm,
like, I'll make an abundance of it. Like
mhm.
I'll find these people, I'll bring them together. But like if you feel like you don't have a space where you could show up and be yourself and feel safe showing up that way, how can you cultivate that? How can you make that and find that and create that yourself?
Right. And I think for us, I mean, I think having our own podcast has been a
Yeah.
huge platform for that,
Yeah.
and trying to find our people through the things that light us up and that make us feel excited, and then we can just speak our truth on our own platforms, and then find people that resonate with us in whatever capacity that may be.
And then Lacey Green, like we said, she was a part of that panel with Kat. And my favorite thing that Lacey Green said was love who you are, right where you are, as you work on who you are becoming. That is a mouthful, but like, again, it comes down to self love, you guys. If you are truly wanting to build a business of your dreams, you need to love yourself through that. And if you aren't able to do that, I think it's going to be really hard to get your business in a good flow state because that self love, that self compassion is a piece of the puzzle because
Mhm.
you are not going to attract your ideal clients if you are constantly hating on yourself, dogging on yourself, criticizing yourself. You have to learn to get to a place where you can shut that inner critic up and tell her, like, turn the volume down on her and tell her to shut the F up. There is not a place for her voice anymore. And that's like Lacey embodies that
Oh yeah. I mean,
confidence.
she does. I mean, we just have to, I think, to me, it's like, just keep showing up. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just like, just keep showing up
And people don't
where
have to
you're
love
at.
you. People don't have to like you.
Not everybody, you're not going to be for everybody.
Yeah,
So don't think that you need to show up in a way that tries to meet everybody where they're at. They need to
right.
meet you where you're at,
Yeah,
honestly. To me, that's kind of a message that I took away from that.
yeah. Like, I love watching as you were introducing yourself to different people in your podcast. I love watching other people's reactions. Like, you can tell immediately who is, like, into the eclectic, and you can tell who is not, like,
Hmm.
immediately.
Immediately.
And it's okay. Like, we don't care. If that's not your thing, then just leave it at the door. It's
That's fine.
okay. But yeah, you can definitely
I mean, because we really ultimately just want to attract the people that are right for us. My goal is not to attract or convince anybody of the things that I'm into. I just want to find other people that are interested in the same things as me, and hopefully they come find me, but
And they will if
they
you
will.
are giving off that energy of like, I love what I'm doing. I love myself because I'm what I'm doing. Like, I mean,
Right.
if you're in a good flow state, like you will attract them. Okay. We then had the two, it's called My Powerhouse Moments, the two women that Lindsay Schwartz does like a contest every year where you can submit your powerhouse moment and then she chooses to just strictly based on her own intuition. So they get like a short moment to do their powerhouse moment on the stage. What stood out for you for that? Anything?
Think I think they both did an amazing job. I
Yeah.
think they really just got up there and owned their truth.
Yeah.
And, it's not easy doing that, especially if you're not used to speaking in front of a large group of people. And they came
Right.
across as both, I mean, I don't know if either of them have ever really spoken in that capacity before, but they both came across as like very confident and polished. And I was just really impressed with both of their energy. And honestly, both conversations did bring me to tears, and
Yeah.
it was really beautiful.
They were truly inspiring. And honestly, like seeing people up there that, because the expanders that are typically up on stage speaking, like the panelists and the keynote speakers, like they are, they're expanders, right? Like,
Hmm.
yes, they're just like you and I, but like we just do hold them to a little bit of a higher standard. We put them up on a podium a little bit. Yeah, a pedestal a little bit. But like the cool thing about the powerhouse moment is like these are people just like you and
Hmm.
I. So it's cool seeing an example of somebody who emulates you up there, like, okay, like I could
That could be
potentially
me
do that.
next year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
What's the difference between them and me? Like,
Yeah,
my story could be just equally as impactful in a different way as their story. So,
exactly. Yeah, 100%. And then the final speakers of the day were another panelist. So Jasmine Starr, just amazing woman, Krista Williams, and Lori Harder. Gosh, there's so much to be said about these panelists. I don't
yeah,
even know where to start.
they were like really, so basically Lindsay would ask them a question and then they would all give their responses, and sometimes they would agree on their different responses, and some of them would have different things, but I mean, they're just powerhouse women. I mean, truly.
Yeah, they really are. I listen to Jasmine Starr's podcast. I wouldn't say like religiously, but I dabble in like maybe one episode a week of hers. It's a fairly new podcast for me, so I'm kind of like behind for sure listening to some older ones. But what I love about Jasmine is as a Latina, she I feel like she gives you permission to like get out of your own way, to not let other people's opinions get in your way, but just keep going after what you want. Like she said, if you don't stop, then you can only win. And that, for some reason, that really stuck with me
Me too.
because sometimes I think we self sabotage in the way like we let others' opinions like slow us down or make us like want to hide. Or I don't know. There's so many, not, that's just one example, but like life can easily get in the way. And we might talk ourselves out of doing this episode for 1 week or whatever. It's like, don't get in your own way. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Even if you're only helping one person a week, that's a win. And so just as long as you don't stop what you're doing, you're going to continue to win at this.
Yeah, I think one of her big takeaways is that, even on the days when you don't feel like doing it or whatnot, like you just keep showing up anyway,
Yeah.
and just have that grit to just like keep pushing through,
Yeah.
because it's serving someone, and it's going to be impactful and it's going to be helpful. But just like any job, I mean, we don't always feel like going every single day, but I mean, that's her job. So you still got to show up.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Yeah. There was Crystal Williams was a part of this panel, and she is a podcast host of the Almost 30. Or no, yeah. Well, she is the co-founder of Almost 30. I mean, I don't know what her podcast name is.
I think that's the same. I think the Almost 30 podcast, and
Oh, okay.
I think her book and the podcast have the same
Yeah.
name.
Yep. You're right. Yeah. Krista, what do I want to say?
I wasn't familiar with her previous to the panel. I think she was very relatable. She talked about starting her own podcast just on the floor in the closet or something, and I was like, "Oh gosh, that sounds like me." I was recording my second
Yes.
podcast episode from the floor in the closet of an Airbnb.
Yeah, that's right.
And, she was talking about how when they started, they were just pitching all these people. They were just hoping that they could get these big guests to come on, and people were just rejecting them right and left. But I mean, they just kept trying and going and going and going. And, things get better over time.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like out of the 3 of them, Krista was, like, the most relatable in terms of, like, she seems just like you and me
Yes.
when she used that as an example, and she did say you cannot deny the calling of your soul, and I think so many people, like, they'll get these brilliant ideas, but they'll think, like, nobody would ever buy that product or nobody would ever support that business, or maybe you just don't have, like, good business owners, like, for examples in your life, and so you think like, "I don't even know what I'm doing. There's no way I could make a go of that." And it's
Mhm.
like, if that idea was put on your soul, it was meant for you to go after, and if you don't go after it, it's just gonna, like, transport to somebody
Somebody
else's
else. Yep.
mind, and somebody else will run with it, and so it's like, that idea was put on your soul for a reason. Go after it, own it. The right people will cross your path. Again, like, if you're in a good flow with it, the right people will come to you. Uh,
Yeah, I really connected with that quote as well. I feel
yeah.
like that was probably one of the things that she said the most that I felt was I mean, it's just something that I'm dealing with in my own journey, really.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely could see that resonating with you. And then, of course, like, Lindsay Shorts cannot have an event that does not have her best friend Lori Harder at it. So Lori Harder was also a part of this panelist, and Lori Harder owns Glowsy. I don't know if you guys know of that, but I can put the website in the show notes.
Bring Your Happy
Oh yeah,
podcast,
thank you.
which is a big one.
I'm gonna say, like, my favorite thing that Lori talked about, and I can put this specific episode where she talks about this from her
Yeah,
podcast.
we should link that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I listened to that episode twice because I was like, there was so much goodness in it. And I'm like, I have to listen to this a second time. So pretty much she retold this story in today in the at the event, and it was pretty much like, cringe is the secret. Give yourself permission to be audacious, give yourself permission to be bold. And the word audacious sometimes gets such a negative rep. Like, we look at women or people in general who are like doing bold things, and we might say things like, oh my God, the
Ew.
audacity that
Yeah.
she is putting herself out there like that. And it's like, wait, why does that have to be a negative word? Like, why? And then she actually told us, like, audacity actually has 2 different definitions. It has like that negative definition, but then it also has, like, the positive, like, they're doing audacious things in their life, like, good for them,
Yeah.
right?
They're
So it's
doing
like,
big, bold things
yeah,
instead of, oh,
yeah,
they're just being rude and cringy.
yeah. So like, we need to give ourselves permission to be that way. Like, who sets the rules that you can't be audacious, that you can't be bold? Like, who is it that's telling you you can't do that? That's a limiting belief.
Yeah, it is. And then it's like usually the people that are triggered by the way that you're showing up, I mean, they really are the ones that need to do the inner work on themselves. Because why does it trigger you if I'm showing up and I'm wanting to get the different photos and I'm wanting to get the different content? Like,
Yeah,
why do you even care?
yeah. And you know
Right?
what? It's not that they care. It's that you are mirroring something back to them that is hitting on an insecurity of theirs, and that's hard. That's hard.
It is hard. And I think I think another takeaway just from the conference in general is how willing all the other women were there to help people get the photos that they wanted. Cause I mean, not everybody came with somebody. So at times it could probably feel awkward, like, oh, I want to get this photo opportunity, but I don't have anyone to take my picture. But there were always women that were willing to take photos, be your hype squad, and I felt like that was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna be honest with you. The week leading up to this event, Ashley and I had, like, pretty much unofficially set intentions that we gave ourselves permission leading up to this weekend that we were gonna show up as our most audacious and bold selves. I'm gonna tell you, like, that's a really uncomfortable thing. It's like a muscle, like, it gets easier over time, I think, but, like, there were still times today. I mean, yeah, you're in a room filled with people who are taking their pictures and taking advantage of all these photo opportunities, but you get up to do these photo opportunities and you still kind of freeze a little bit,
You're like,
like,
well, what do I do? I'm not used to posing
yeah,
for pictures like
yeah,
this. So how do I move my body and how do I make
yeah,
sure I don't have 15 chins and how do I,
yeah, and then you're
you
looking
know,
out at the line behind you and like, oh my God, all these women are watching me. Like, what are they gonna think? Or, I mean, like you still have that inner critic showing up. So it is scary and it is hard, but I go back to what Lori said, like cringe is the secret. Like be cringy. It honestly gets more and more fun the more you do it.
It
Like,
does, because it feels less cringy.
yeah,
Like, maybe at first it feels kind of awkward or whatever, but then the more you keep doing it, then you get more comfortable with it and you're just like, "Oh, well, I'm just having fun." So I don't even really understand why this would be cringy or audacious anyway, because I'm just having a great time.
yeah, I completely agree. I like what Lori said. This is like the last thing I want to share is ask some daily that is super audacious of you. So, like, what's something super audacious that I can do today? Or how can I show up today as my most audacious self? And
I
just follow through. Like, just do it. Like, give
Yeah,
yourself that permission. Write an actual permission slip. Like, put it in your phone. I'm giving myself permission to do this today. And then freaking follow through on it. And then over, like, even just a week's time of doing that every day, like within a week's time, that muscle is going to be so much stronger and you're just getting closer and closer to being that next level version of yourself. Yeah, I just think that's powerful.
it's very powerful. I mean, I think even, small example that I could even think from just my own life is like, is there a guest that I want to ask on the podcast, but maybe I'm kind of nervous, but my most audacious self would be to put together a pitch for them to come on and just hit send.
Yep.
I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? They are going to say no, or they ghost me or something. I'm not going to die.
No.
I mean, I'm still going to be okay. And if it doesn't work out, that doesn't always mean no forever. That may just mean no or not right now.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess like if I were to give you guys like one final takeaway from our day today or from the last 2 days is like get comfortable getting outside of that comfort zone because coming to this conference literally forces you to
Mhm,
embrace the discomfort. But I feel like I have learned to embrace discomfort so much in my professional journey,
mhm.
not just as an entrepreneur. I just mean my whole professional journey from start to finish. Like I have just had to learn to embrace the discomfort where you get to a point where discomfort is just your new comfort. Like, I don't know if
Yes.
that makes any sense, but
Yes, I feel that.
right? So just you have to get so far away. I don't know who said this, but you have to get so far away from your comfort zone that you don't even know where it's at anymore. Like you lost it. It was one of the
I think it was Rel
Rel
Dixon.
Dixon. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Mhm.
that's where you need to be. And there is so much growth that happens when you can embrace the discomfort. I mean, I literally told so many women today, like, for this weekend, like, you're going to walk through these doors and you're going to walk out at the end of the day a completely different person. It's one, because you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation by showing up here. And two, like, you are consistently introducing yourself, which that I think equates to discomfort. There's just so many uncomfortable things that you're being forced to do when you come to this that catapults your growth and you're like just exponentially taking off from events like this or this one in particular.
Yeah. And they joke at the conference, like, it's kind of hard to explain the conference without, really truly being there. But I mean, it's really next level. I'm so happy that Stephanie encouraged me to go with her. I think there's a lot of women that show up by themselves, and I think that's incredible. I know I could do it by myself. It is nice to have someone there with me, just to, because sometimes we just have our little back and forth banter and things like that. But
Right.
I'm just really impressed by all the women that are showing up and just doing it on their own. I don't know, just it's hard to even wrap it all up and sum it all
Yeah.
up. Yeah, it was a really amazing day. We made some really fun connections.
Yeah. Fun fact, I drove all the way out, or I flew all the way out to Scottsdale and ended up meeting a gal who lives 10 minutes away from me in eastern Iowa. Didn't even know this woman before.
Shout out Molly.
Molly, woo woo. It was just pretty synchronistic. And yeah, we ended up having supper with her. And yeah, so I mean, you just like,
You
it's a
never
small
know.
world. Yeah. You just never
You
know who you're going to
never
run
know.
into. And you also like never know who you're going to meet that could like help you grow your business in a way that you didn't anticipate. Like an unanswered prayer that you didn't know you needed. I can't talk this event up enough. I'm so glad Ashley went for the first time. Like, I just intuitively knew she needed to be in this room. And she had her own synchronicities today that were
Yeah.
like next level. So,
We'll save that for another
yeah,
we'll save
absolutely.
that for another time.
We might get back on tomorrow and record another one after the Sunday part, but we'll just see how tomorrow goes.
All right, guys.
All
Signing
right.
out.
Talk to you guys later.